Even though my closet was overflowing with clothes, I felt like I never had anything to wear. Then I found Quince and have finally given my closet the upgrade we both desperately needed. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. Take the drama out of planning an outfit and upgrade your closet with Quince today. Go to quince.com/thinkloud for free shipping on your order and 365-day return. That's QUINCE.com/thinkloud and get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/thinkloud.
Motherhood isn't always picture perfect, and we are three moms just trying to figure it out together. Let's get real. Welcome to the Think Loud crew. My name is Kyle. Sounded so weird.
My name is Kyle.
Because I don't normally introduce myself as Kyle on here.
I feel like you don't ever actually say your name on here, though.
Yeah.
When's the last time you said, "Hey, my name is Kyle"? Like, we don't really introduce ourselves anymore.
No. What's your name, sis?
Oh, I'm Cheyenne.
And today we have a guest, Robin.
Hi, guys.
She's back.
Robin was on before, though, but I wasn't here.
Yes.
How was it?
I really liked it, actually. It was a very easy conversation. It was a very comfortable space.
What did you guys talk about?
We were kind of all over the
Friendship,
place.
church.
How we met, and then our kids, like just an intro.
Yeah.
It was one of those days afterwards. So Robin's like seen episodes. She was like, I can't wait to sit down with Cheyenne because you're more like structured.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I know I don't have structure. But you're also.
We all know.
No,
Yes,
you're very
you're
like
being,
on
like,
task. She's like, okay,
interviewed.
the questions.
Yes.
Okay, this is a
Because I feel like if I'm I think I have to be on task because of the way, number one, how my brain works, and then number two, how I hear things. Like, if I listen to certain podcasts and they're all over the place, sometimes I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I have to turn it down.
You can't follow it.
I can't follow it because the way my brain processes, I'm like, okay, wait, we were just talking about this and now we're over here. So I have to, like, kind of, like, be more, like, what's that word, analytical?
Just structured.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
We need this.
Or-
we need the balance, though. Like,
Yeah,
for
or
sure.
my head hurts. I've
Yeah.
had, like, a headache for the past 2 days.
Oh, do you need to drink some of that water? Are you
No, I
okay?
got some Tylenol this morning, though.
That was crazy.
severe
That was
dehydration.
crazy.
But I feel like I've been drinking so much water. I pee all the time.
I actually, like, I get migraines, like, since having the kids, and, like, I saw this trick on TikTok, and it's actually worked. I was very skeptical, but, like, you take, like, a pinch of, like, pink Himalayan salt.
Salt shots.
Yeah, and you put it in your water, and it actually, like, opens up your veins to, like, absorb more water.
Yes.
And it's actually helped with my migraines.
Zach told me
Y'all
yesterday,
be taking
go do a
Himalayan.
salt shot.
Salt
And
Yeah,
No, it's literally just, like, a pinch. Yeah, it's
and
a real
he's
thing.
like, you saw it on TikTok. I'm like, you saw it on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok. We had a whole argument about it. But I want to get Celtic salt. Have you heard about that?
No.
So it's better than, they say it's better than Himalayan. It's sold out everywhere, by the way. And
She tried already.
I tried. And even
If
my
somebody
dad told me
has
about
Celtic
it.
salt, send it to Shy.
Okay, when I
Right.
was on my crazy diet,
Me too.
he was like, you should be putting Celtic salt on, like, the tip of your tongue. And I'm like, why? Because he was over at my house one day, I was peeing all day long. And he's like, the water's just, like, not even, like,
Getting absorbed.
getting absorbed. You're just peeing it out. So you need to put, like, the Celtic salt on your tongue. And then it will, like, absorb differently. So I went down this whole rabbit hole of, like, all the benefits of Celtic salt. And it was, like, Celtic salt versus pink Himalayan salt and, like, all these different things. Celtic is definitely the winner,
Like, where
according
do
to
you-
Google.
Where do you, like, find it?
I went on Amazon. I looked up, like, how to buy Whole
Yeah.
Foods, all these places. It's sold out because everybody right now knows about Celtic salt.
Do we need to start importing Celtic salt?
I'm just like, if someone knows where I can get some, can you tell me? Because I want to put it on my tongue so bad.
from their bottle?
I'm curious
I want to
now.
put it on my tongue so bad. But that's my spiel for the day.
No, not that I want to put it on my tongue so bad. Cheyenne's
No.
gonna be like, I got it, y'all.
I'm not even kidding. I probably am. I probably will.
She's gonna get a package from some company. Here you go.
Hit me up. No, really.
Yo.
Okay, so I know we have a goal here in the topic, but before we get into it, I'm just so interested about the first podcast you guys did together. I heard you talked about friendship.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like a good introduction, girl talk, friendship.
It was like Kyle has a new mom friend.
Yeah.
Like that was
I literally like cornered her in the Taylor Tots parking lot. Like, hey girl,
I like
you're
that.
new. Yeah.
Robin, do you have friends outside of
Kyle.
your new friend Kyle?
I do.
Okay.
I actually heard in the podcast that Kyle didn't have friends like
I
that.
do have friends. I just,
Kyle,
you know.
let's be honest.
Ooh.
Because even Shannon was like,
picky.
she
Shannon knows I'm
she
like
planned
I'm
a pool day at the house. It came, and so Shannon's just like, okay, one friend, okay.
these
Then a
mom
whole
friends
nother
I
person
have?
showed up, and it's just like, okay, who are these people? Like
Yeah.
you don't let people in.
Like I have friends, they're just not here. And I do have friends here. I've been told, I've said this over the years, and they're like, oh, I'm right here.
Yeah, you have.
Maybe-
No, I do have friends, but it's in terms of like new friends, like outside
Yeah.
of like my day ones or like my school friends. Like, I've tried, but then I'm like,
So what do you think about Kyle as a friend? I'm
As a
really curious.
This is an interrogation.
Is she a good friend?
oh, Cheyenne's told me about myself over the years.
No.
This is like,
We've had to work on
I've had to work on my
her
friendship.
level of
Wait, because you
friendship.
don't know how to be.
oh,
a
I would
friend?
just be detached. I'd be stuck in my own world.
I don't feel like I get that.
Like,
Okay,
from
good.
her.
Good.
No, I don't. I get a very inclusive friend. Like, believe it or not, like our friendship, I don't know, it just blossomed so quickly. It was like,
it's been easy.
it was voice notes. Like, it was not like
I like
awkward
that, though.
text or anything like that. It was like, we just jumped into it. Our kids,
I
like,
remember one night Robin called me on the phone, and I was like, I was on the phone with someone else, and I was like, I gotta get off the phone. Robin's calling me.
we were on the phone till like
for
midnight.
like 2 hours.
Just like we're so
talking.
delusional together.
Lovers. No, just kidding.
Oh, we do say, like, if we don't find men, we're just gonna be like, we've got our friends.
Next thing we know, they're gonna be like, so we got a place together, and like the kids are gonna share one room, and we're gonna share one room, but we're not like sleeping together. We're just like in the same bed, and
This
like
is
sometimes we
not-
touch toes.
or not.
This is not that.
Or not.
We definitely. We don't
I
even.
feel like so. This guy asked if we were like gonna be like. He was like, "You guys both seem really free. Like, do you guys like do things together?" And we were like,
No,
actually,
I think that you and Kylan's friendship came at such a perfect time.
yes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the topic of her lacking in the mom friend department was like, it just kept coming up.
There was one day, Cheyenne, I was in the car crying.
Bro, I think Zach was in the car too.
why?
Because I was like,
I think I told her I was going to lunch with one of my friends, and she
and I
just
just
started
got
crying.
so overwhelmed because like the two friends that I would like to hang out with live out of state. My other friend lives in another country, and the
then
friends
she
that I
started
do
crying
have
that
here,
I was going to lunch with my friend, and she didn't have a friend to go to lunch with.
either like super career women or don't have children, or it's just like we're just on way different pages now. So like when we do go to lunch, it's like
That awkward.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, we're not really friends, like, at that point. Because, like, I cannot see Shahar for months, and we pick up, and it's like we were with each other 10 minutes ago, you know? And it's been the same thing with Robin. Like, even the way, like, our family structure, like, our family things, there's similarities. Like, work stuff, we have our ups and downs. Like, our kids are on the same page. Like, also, being a mom of two and having the same baby daddy
It's like a different.
makes a difference.
Okay.
And I never really realized it until I met Robin, because we both have two kids by the same man.
Makes a difference in what way, or like in what context?
Just some of the things that we deal with, the layers of like co-parenting, or like what that foundation, like I feel like there are differences in your co-parenting with Corey versus my co-parenting with Mezier, but it's also a different history. You guys, we've handled it
Yeah.
differently. Like, it's just.
But you're saying if I had two kids
by the
by the
same
same
guy
guy,
versus
it would
two
be
kids
different-
versus two
two
different
different-
guys.
Oh, yeah,
it's a
I see
different
that.
it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, like I'm like, guys, I got a friend. I
Nah, I think it's great. I feel like it's cool that I think friends.
It's not a default friend by environment. It's not like a friend
default friend.
Dang.
Who says shit like that?
You know what?
No, because I've had
friends for when you go through different things.
Like a default friend, that could be a work friend. That could be like, oh, we're in school together. That could be like so many. Oh, we take a dance class together and we're friends. Like, no.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the connection with what you're saying.
I get what you're saying, but no, I don't agree.
Well, okay.
I think that I think you have friends.
I do.
And I think that you were seeking a friend that was of like mind.
Yes.
And
more on my page.
was doing things that you guys could do together and that had kids, and maybe you can have conversations about your baby daddies or like
or a delusional, not baby daddy conversation.
Right. So I think there's a difference in your friendships when you do have a friend that you can call on for things that are happening present day in your life, where maybe you have friends that you can't call on because, like you said, they don't have kids.
Different situations,
but they're still your friends.
Yeah. And just like closeness, like we live fairly close to each other. Oh, even where I'm moving, the new house, it's 2 blocks away from Robin.
Not planned. Not planned.
Okay. She's screaming stalker, Robin. Run while you can.
I didn't know where Robin lived at for a while.
It's giving Lifetime movie.
Wait, me chopped to scrap. Be missing.
I told her I was at the house, and I was like, "Girl, this house is like 2 blocks away from you," and I was like, this is kind of crazy. And then when she came to the house, she was like,
oh, I could walk. I could walk. I could walk.
I was like, this is a lot.
But I think that that's really good that you guys have this friendship. Now you guys are going to be neighbors, and now you're even closer
like
than
I'm going to be on like missing.
She said I'm going to go missing.
We'll be missing together, though. Help.
No,
don't be
Don't make me the crazy killer over here, y'all.
I would say I have a friend like how you guys became friends. My friend who I met through Ryder and being at school, me and Iris were sitting there at the first day of like school or whatever, like back to school night, and I was like, hey. You know, want to be my friend?
Oh, that's your kid?
Right. But the crazy thing
Playing
is,
with my kid?
So many people have like our mutual friends and have tried to put us in the same room together in the past, and it just never happened. And then we got put in the same room through our daughters, and the girls clicked immediately. So I was like, you know, become in peace.
Yeah.
And she was cool, and it was kind of like how you guys just clicked. We didn't sit up on the phone for 2 hours, but you know, we clicked in other ways. And the crazy thing is, we went to a birthday party. It was like the first birthday party of the year for a little girl, and we were sitting there, and it was actually around this time of the year. Because she was like, oh, me and my fiance are about to go to Dubai for New Year's. Like, what are you guys doing? And it was Zach and I talking to her. And this is, I think, our second time actually, like, hanging out with her. And we were like, we're not doing anything for New Year's.
Want to go?
And then she was like, you're not? And I looked at her and said, we'll go to Dubai. And she's like,
are you out of here?
Are you serious? And me and Zach were like, yeah. And she's looking at us probably like, strange.
She has flaws too.
Meanwhile, I receive group pics. I see
So literally, she's like, okay, I'm going to text you all the info tonight. So she texts me like the flight. She texts me the hotel. And then I text her back the next morning like, okay, we're all booked. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, I know she's probably thinking like, damn.
They didn't even think about it.
But we always wanted to go to Dubai. And I was like, why not? Like, let's just be spontaneous. Like, fuck it, let's go. So we went to dinner for my stepdad's birthday, maybe like a week after that, and I was sitting there talking to my other friend Ashley and her husband, and we were talking about New Year's, and I was like, I just met this girl Iris, and we're going to New Year's with her and her fiance. You want to come? And then I said, everyone. I'm like, shit, let me ask Iris before I invite somebody, because I definitely, like, it's their trip.
Y'all, they are 3 little freaking musketeers at this point.
I text Iris, I'm like, hey, I have this friend Ashley, can she and her husband come? And I sent a picture, like, Ashley's Instagram page to Iris. They knew each other from like a
yeah,
long
they have
time
mutual
ago. Yeah,
friends.
they have a lot of mutual friends. She was like, come on, like more the merrier. So I'm telling Ashley, like, come on. And then we're sitting at the dinner table, and then she's like, okay, we're booked. And I was sitting there like, are we crazy?
Meanwhile, we can't even get babysitters.
Hey, I had a babysitter last weekend. I was
You
out.
did. I was saying, like, that's how our friendship started, and now
They just happen sometimes.
It just happened, and now we're travel friends, and now we're neighbors. We're neighbors.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all in the Lifetime movie.
Yes. It's a great Lifetime movie, though. So it's like,
It is.
even with Cheyenne's always been like really generous with her friends. So I love the fact that she has friends who are like generous with her, and not just her,
because
but like her
I
whole
was just
family.
invited me to a Friendsgiving, and I went on the sign-up sheet,
I'm on
and
there.
then I said, that shit says Kyle +2. I was like,
Me and my
you got
kids.
invited?
Yeah. Y'all, I've been to birthday parties, holiday
How'd
parties.
you get on the invite list?
with
Don't be friends
family.
with my friends. She's like, don't be friends with my
No,
friends.
but I like it because there's been like some new people that try to come in Cheyenne's life, but they don't understand like
I
our
come with a
relationship
lot.
or
Yeah.
like that Cheyenne is into her family. So they'll
Yeah.
be looking at me like you're just a sis, and I want to say you are a peon and can be removed. Like go.
But I kind of felt
so
some
I
of that.
love that she was
when
like,
I-
come
But
on,
when I first
everybody.
met her at your birthday, she
Come
was like, it was
on.
like interrogation mode.
Oh.
It was like,
She's like,
so
who are
she was
you?
like the spoon. So how did you guys meet?
Parking lot.
Right.
Parking lot pimping. Literally.
I would say that I am, in present day, way more protective about who is in our house, and I say
Yeah.
our, like my mom's, mine,
Yeah.
hers, than I've ever been.
Same.
Like, present day, I'm just way more like,
I'll meet you down the block.
where they come from.
You
Over
can't.
there.
And I've always picked with Kyle. You can't bring everybody home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, and she's just like, everybody come on.
I've
I'm
like-
free."
That was my flaw back
Growing
then
up,
too.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
always very
I
friendly.
way too trusting, way too soon,
Yeah.
thinking everyone is your friend,
Right,
and they're not.
They're not, and that's how she is.
Yeah.
So I would say I come off more standoffish and more
It's
bitchy.
always the little sisters, though.
They're protective.
They
I'm like,
know
girl,
things we clearly don't know.
Why are you bringing everybody
Yeah.
home? Everybody can't come to the house.
Yeah.
And then you get burned. And then they're like, I should have never invited them over to my house.
And then
And then I'm like, why'd you guys send me to an all-girls school where there was no one who looked like me? I was just trying to find friends.
Goodbye. Kyle, you met that. There was this one time.
Not anymore. I'm old
There was
now.
that one
yeah,
guy. Remember that?
you know better
there
now.
was
When you were in college?
No. Mom always tells me this story about the guy you were hanging out with. His car stopped.
His
Something,
car
and then
stopped.
like mom had to come pick you guys
Oh,
up.
my
He had like
no,
three
my
drinks.
axle broke. You actually
And
may know him.
Mom
He's
was
from out here.
And mom was like,
we have too
"Shy,
many
We've
mutual
been having
friends.
so many mutual
I just
friends.
picked up your sister and some man with like three really large dreads, and Kyle tried to introduce him as like whatever his like rapper or artist name was, and then he was like, "My name is John." Like,
No,
You
not.
know what it was? I forgot his name in that moment.
So you gave his
I was like, this is
stage
Jeff.
name.
And he was like, my name is Emmanuel. And I was like,
my mom was like, "I wanted to kick your sister in the head."
I told him to leave. My axle broke. And I was like, my mom's coming. Like,
You can go now.
Literally.
We're done. I don't
being
need you
rescued.
anymore.
Bye. Out of here.
I don't even think we did anything. Like, we were going to hang out. And then it was like, yeah, my axle broke.
So it was the end of the hangout.
Yeah, that was it.
Even though my closet was overflowing with clothes, I felt like I never had anything to wear. Then I found Quince and have finally given my closet the upgrade we both desperately needed. I built out a capsule wardrobe with iconic pieces that can be styled for any occasion. Quince creates timeless classic that never go out of style. You'll have them in your closet forever, which makes putting together that outfit way easier. Quince has all the capsules must-haves, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50, suede and leather jackets, and silk blouses and dresses. Here's the kicker. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. Take the drama out of planning an outfit and upgrade your closet with Quince today. Go to quince.com/thinkloud for free shipping on your order and 365-day return. That's QUINCE.com/thinkloud and get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/thinkloud.
Wait, I really did have a topic today that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Or like just briefly address, because I feel like it's something that comes up with our kids and with us and whatnot. But in terms of just my relationship with, like, my friendship with Robin and seeing, like, how she's raising her kids and the conversation of just, like, Robin is biracial, she's Filipino and Black, and growing up in, like, a biracial, not in a biracial, growing up between an Asian and a Black household.
Right.
Growing up biracial, or like being in like a multicultural, multiracial household, I feel like it's something that affects, or like those are conversations that happen with our children.
So can I ask a question?
Others.
Yeah.
Who's Black and who's Filipino?
My mom's Filipino. My dad's Black.
Okay. Do you get more people thinking you're just Asian?
Yeah.
Do you scream I'm Black?
I feel like I used to when I was younger. I feel like I really had to validate who I was with, like, a lot of people back then.
Yeah.
Now, not really so much. I just don't.
Yeah. Did any circumstance or anything happen younger that you feel like stood out that made you want to, like, be more like, no, I am Black too? Or was it just because you knew you were Black also?
I always knew, like, that was one thing growing up. I knew who I was, and my families on both sides, I never felt like I didn't belong. It wasn't until, when you go to school and then, whether it's like the other Black kids or whoever, it's always like, oh, well, you're not really Black, or you're not really Asian, because I couldn't just identify with one. And so if you're not, like, all in 100%, they look at you as if you're less than. So it was just like, it was outside environments, not around family or even, like, people that knew me, I would say. Yeah. It just got really tiring of, like, oh, like, sure, you're Black, okay. And then let's say I had, like, a recital at school or a graduation or whatever, and it's like, oh, that's your Black dad. Oh, and you're Black.
You really are Black.
Yeah, like, oh, you're Black
grandparents.
grandparents, and it's just like,
I told y'all.
I didn't think that it would be like that.
So did it make you associate more with, like, the Asian kids? Or...
No, Asian kids weren't very nice either.
So who did you go with? Who did you hang out with?
Honestly, I felt like I gravitated towards, like, I've always felt more comfortable in Black rooms and Black spaces because they were more accepting, I would definitely say, because a lot of the people, even now, like, they've been exposed to, like, biracial kids or people, and they're open to that, whereas in most Asian cultures, they're not open to you dating outside of your race. Like, it's shunned, and, it's not embraced at all.
Dang.
It's different.
Yeah, it's so different. They treat you like, oh, well, if your mom's not really from the Philippines, like, if they were born in America, that's a whole different thing too. Like, you're not really Filipino, you're not really this, or...
Was your mom born in the Philippines?
No, she was born...
Cheyenne's like, so...
I'm just trying to get
I get it.
She was born in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your grandparents?
Were, and they emigrated here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your mom's Filipino?
Yes.
So what did your grandparents think when your mom had you? I mean, more so, what did your grandparents think when she got with the Black man?
they were so, like, they embraced my dad.
Oh, right.
And, you know, everything. My grandparents, I feel like their mentality was so different when they came to America, because they were like, okay, we're in America, we've made it. You know, like, the opportunities are better. And I never really was taught to see color. I never chose friends or didn't choose friends because of where they came from, what they had, their background or anything. It was the person.
Yeah.
But when you grow up being mixed, you run into feeling like, where do I belong? Because I feel connected to this culture or this race, and then they don't accept me back. But why is it that my family does only? And you find like you have to fight for people to like accept you. And I think that's like the hard part of it. But people don't take that serious. Like, they think it's just like, oh, you're just talking, like you're mixed, you think you're better, and it's like, no, because you really just want to fit in. You want to feel like you're a part of a community. And then when you don't, you're like, well, okay,
yeah,
you know, whatever, I guess.
It's definitely interesting, especially now that you have kids
who are even more mixed than me.
Yes. So what are your kids mixed with?
So my kid's dad, he's Jamaican, well, half Jamaican, and then on his dad's side, technically, like, they're white, but they're like German, French, and a little bit of Mexican. So like my kids are just like a melting pot. And so one thing I've always tried to do with them is I want them to know everything that makes them up. Like, I've exposed them to like all parts of their culture. Like, I mean, I can't cook Jamaican food very well, but I made the effort to try. You know, I've exposed them, and they know all of their family members from all the different places. And I want them to know, like, you're not just one thing. You can be everything, and you can embrace and be proud of it.
Can I ask the ignorant question?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What box do you check for the kids?
I do.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I honestly just do, like, I'll do African American, and I will do that. I don't put that they're white, even though like they are. I'll just do Asian.
What box do you check for yourself?
For myself, I do African American, Asian too.
I always thought about that. Like, when you have kids that are like, you know, the melting pot.
What
As I feel like we all are.
Yeah, we are.
But it's like, what box do you check? Like,
because some of them don't even allow you to really like
check too.
To check, yeah.
And the reason I asked that was because there was one time Zach and I were doing something. I think it was when I was pregnant with Ace, and he had to do genetic testing, and he was filling out the paper, and it was like, check one box, and he checked black. And Zach's dad is black, his mom is white, and I was like, why don't you check white? Like, just curious, like, why, what makes you gravitate to checking black? And he's like, I look black. Like, if I check white, they're gonna look and be like, where, nigga? Like, I was sitting there like, here.
But it's true.
Okay, like, and he's
weird.
like, you don't understand, because when you look at your parents, they're both black. I look at my parents, I have one that's like white, and I have one that's black as fuck, and I came out and I look black. I can't walk around screaming, but my mom is white. And I was like, okay, I guess I just never thought about it that way. So so now I just think I pay attention more now, like, to what boxes people check when you are mixed. How does that work? Especially if you only get to pick one.
I kind of understand where Zach is like coming from, because there's been times like I've encountered ignorance, I guess. Like, there was a girl, I wouldn't say we were friends, acquaintances, and she had made a comment like, you know, you can't identify as a black woman, like, that's not okay. And I like really tried to understand her logic, right? And like, I guess there's even people who really think like, if your mom is not black and you're a product of like a mixed couple or whatever, like, you can't identify as black if your mom is not black.
Yeah, I thought
but
that
what
was
about
really
if your dad is black? Does the dad not count?
I guess it doesn't. And then it's like, then you fall into the like, also people have said like, oh, like, you're just trying to take all our black men and da-da-da. And I'm like, my example is a black man. Like, you can't. I can't wait.
Robin said that to me this morning. We were walking, and she was like, yeah, sometimes people have an issue like with me being mixed, like dating black men. And I was thinking like, why?
Yeah.
And when she started saying like my example, I was like, that's so real. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's tough. Like, when if your outer appearance is like not screaming one place, but like you look Asian, you know, and your skin tone is darker or more like melanin or whatever, but you would naturally come off. It's like hard when you come off as one thing, but you definitely are are too. Like, even, like, for Zach, like, you look at him, he looks black. You don't look at him and think, his mom's probably white. Like,
you don't think that.
But growing up, I'm sure that has to be confusing. And also, if you're not taught to embrace both sides of it, or not taught to even acknowledge it, then that's even more confusing. Yep. So I think it's cool that with your kids, you're putting emphasis on everything.
Yeah.
And then it's nice to hear the kids talk, because, like, we've had a conversation with the kids, and they'll be like, I'm black. Like, I'm this, I'm that. Like, and it's Boz and her two kids. They'll be going at it. Like, they'll be at the pool, and then they want to say, oh, I'm so tan. Like, I got so brown. Like, I'm blacker than you right now. And I'm like, no. We're not going to start with all that right now. But it's like, we're all black. It's talking about how black comes in all these different shades. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's important to have these conversations with your kids early, because even, like, sometimes with Boz teases me, and he's like, Mom, I know you're black, but he's like, I'm African. You're not. Like, he's like, you're really...
Damn.
Yeah, Boz...
It's because we're sages,
Like, Boz is a savage. Boz will be messing with me and be like, Mom, you're not African like me.
Do you think that when you were back east, Mezier's family that is Nigerian, were they accepting to you in, like, the cultural way?
So, I think they were open, but there were certain people that definitely made comments where they would call me, like, the white girl, or they would make comments on the, more so just, like, colorism, I think, or just a misunderstanding of cultural differences. But as I'm, like, figuring out this whole co-parenting, or, like, I love that the boys are Nigerian. Like, I love that they can have, like, that strong history and, like, learn about their heritage, and, like, they have a language that they can go back to and learn. So it's like, how do I incorporate these things, and how do I make sure these things are incorporated in their lives, even though, like, we're not in that DC hub anymore. It's like kind of like where my mind is, but there are differences. There's definitely differences, but I think that's just, like, that American and, like,
like being American black versus being, like,
versus being, like, African. It's very different. And I feel like there were times where, like, I could ask questions or, like, try to better have an understanding, but then there were some things where it was just like, I just was not on the same page.
As far as asking questions to his family or to
his
him?
family.
Really?
With him, it was kind of different, only because Messier was born in Italy, and then he migrated here when he was a kid. So it's like, he's very Americanized.
Has he been to Nigeria?
When he was a kid, when he was young. Like, not a trip that he could really remember, or, like, could formulate thoughts and let me really explore. So in the future, like, we've talked about it, going to Nigeria and taking the boys, and just, I would love to bust that door open and really expose them. Don't look at me like that.
But it's
door open.
Yeah, it was the word choice.
The word choice was wild.
Okay,
the word choice really trying to threw it all off my armpit. Sweat a little.
I would love for my children to have a strong understanding of their Niger history, and
so, but they speak how the language, do you teach that?
I was gonna say, with his absence.
This is a question. This is something that I'm honestly, like, I feel weird. Like, I don't think I can teach them. All I can do is, like, keep exposing them. I've joined, like, there's some different, like, Igbo, like, Nigerian American, like, based, like, groups out here. And I've, like, joined, or, like, I've, like, subscribed, but I haven't really, like, done anything yet. Just because I'm like, what do people do with their kids?
Yeah.
And they do have, like, kids clubs, and where, like, they may be learning, the language, or learning about different foods. So it's like, those are things that I'm, like, seeking out, just because I know we aren't with his family full time, and it's like, I don't want that to get lost in communication or lost in the distance. So it's like, even at Bos's school, there is an Igbo woman who like, we ended up talking one day, and she has a kid in Boss's class, another one who's a little older, and so it's like, I even thought about asking her, like, hey, like, do you do any, like,
Traditional
things, like, with your children, or, like, you know, whether that's the food. The boys just came back from a wedding. They experienced, like, a traditional wedding, which I absolutely loved and adored, and it was a Nigerian and a Ghanaian wedding. And just seeing, like, the different clothes, Boz learning about the different traditions. Like, they had, like, an African, thank you, Travis, masquerade at the wedding. And Boz's grandmother, his Nona, was so impressed that he wasn't scared of it. Like, he's trying to figure it out. Like, scary. So it's Boz wants to know, like, he's curious, like, and he's like, I'm a Naija boy. And I'm like...
And I think depending on what's happening at school and what's being taught at school, then it makes the kids even more curious.
Yeah.
Ryder just did an assignment, and it was about cultural or traditions of your family. And the teachers put a lot of emphasis on letting the kids pick what they want to talk about. And I read it, and I'm kind of sitting back like, okay, culturally, like, do we have a tradition? Like, what tradition do we have? You know what I mean? Like, does Soul Food Sunday count? That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Taco Tuesday.
Right, does Taco Tuesday count? Like, or can we not do that?
Because you guys do a great Taco Tuesday.
Thank you. So I was just like, I think I was just sitting back like, oh, shit. Like, how does she answer this question? Because if I can't come out with the answer, then how is she going to come up with the answer?
Right.
But it was also, I think I just got stuck on the word cultural. And I didn't look at the rest of the picture where it was like, you could do family traditions. So I asked Ryder, what do you want to do? She was like, I want to do it about how the girls in our family, when they turn 5, they get a tea party. And that's for our house. She goes, I want to do one on my dad's house about how we do family game night. That's a tradition we have. So I was like, okay, she read it, and she went more to family traditions versus going to culture. We had a play date with her classmates right before that assignment was due, and there was like an Indian mom, and she said they were going to do... something like culturally, and then there was another white mom there, and she goes, she asked me like if I signed up for there's like days you can come to the class and teach a cultural thing or like bring food or whatever, and I was like, no, I didn't. Did you? And she goes, I'm white. I'm white. Like, I'm not like a cool white where I'm like Polish or something. And she was like, I'm just white.
French.
Like,
we're not making crepes.
She was like, I'm just white. I don't know what I can't
what
go.
Can I do?
She said, what do I bring? Hot dogs? And I was just sitting there like, oh my God. And all I'm thinking is, shit, I'm just black. Like, do I bring chicken? Like,
fried chicken and grape soda?
I was like, do I just bring fried chicken? So we're sitting here having this conversation. I realized like, dang, we're in the same boat.
America has really
with each other right now.
Tricked Americans.
And there was another mom who was like,
they stripped all of us.
Yes. And I was like, dang, I thought I was the only one feeling like, shit, like, but she was like, I can't do anything either. I could bring hot dogs. I got pizza. And I was like, okay.
I never thought of it like that.
And I never thought of it like that. I felt bad for like myself, you know, and like that I didn't have.
We don't know what our home country is.
I didn't know what so I didn't know what to do. And Ryder's like, Mom, all the moms are coming, and we had samosas one day, or we had dumplings one day, and like
someone made homemade chutney.
Yes, like all these different things. She's like, why didn't you sign up? And I'm sitting there like, what do I do? Yeah. Like, they're doing dances. They celebrated Diwali. Diwali the other day. They did a whole fucking dance. I'm like, Ryder, I can't come up there with the story. Like, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. And the white mom was like, shit, me either. Like, and then there was a Polish mom there who said, we're gonna do some Polish things, and I was just thinking like, bitch, like, fuck you, like, I can't do shit. And then the Indian mom was talking about she's gonna do Diwali and blah blah blah, and I'm just sitting there like with the other white mom, just like, fuck, you bring hot dogs, I'll bring chicken. Like, let's team up together. We can do it together. But it really got me thinking.
Is this that one mom friend that
not my
Cheyenne has this other.
I have another mom friend that I adore.
Who is hilarious, and she'll tell Cheyenne some of her drama, and Cheyenne will be like, "Why are you telling me this?" And she's like, "Girl, this is a white mom drama. You're not white.
Like,
I need somebody else to hear."
I'm like, all right, fuck it.
I need someone to talk to.
She's like, I'm telling you because you don't give a fuck about any of this white mom drama shit that goes on at this school. So I'm telling you. I was like, all right, but I swear it really got me like thinking. And then when you said today, I want Robin to come and talk about like mixed
cultures.
I was like, dang, this culture shit is just
it's real.
killing me right now.
But I think
Black culture.
I was gonna say there's Black culture, but it's
Yeah.
also we have the choice to like go figure out like what does that mean for our
us.
But
family?
we did,
What does that
I feel like we
mean?
did a 23andMe.
And how do we infuse
did
it?
ancestry
Did you guys do it?
things.
Girl,
yes.
I know there's some
We're
Cameroonian blood. I know there's some Nigerian blood. With
It's
all
just
the
a
other Black
melting
people
pot.
in
Yeah,
America,
it is.
'cause
It's just a
we were
melting
taken
pot.
from there.
So it's tough when I feel like it hasn't been necessarily like taught to us. Like I don't think we were taught anything like culturally. Do you? I feel like we were taught like to travel and to see all cultures and to learn about everybody's, but I'm like, what was my own? Do you get that?
I get that. Just from like the American
Right.
standpoint.
Yeah.
Like what is
It's tough, and it's a tough subject to even like try to vocalize or to talk about.
You don't want to
because
say like
you don't want to say the wrong thing.
Because then
Yeah.
other Black people, I've said it before where I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out like what is like Black culture entail when it's entails so many things. Like there's no one answer.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people are like, well, what is that one answer? And I'm like, there is no one answer. Like it's music, it's food, it's
Hair.
it's faith,
Yeah.
it's hair,
Yeah.
it's style, it's the way we treat people,
Right.
it's the way we come together and like there's
It's like
so
the
many
community
things that
behind it,
are
but how do
yeah.
you go to a first grade class and do that without
unity. We talk
you
about
know what
unity.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
for me, it
know.
was just I didn't know how to communicate those
Just, like,
things
here's
to
one thing.
Yeah.
for that one thing, and on the paper it's one line where it
Yeah.
talks about the one thing you're going to talk about.
I wish you picked dance.
I should have said braids. I'm gonna over there and
was
braid
gonna say
everybody's hair. I'm gonna
braid.
braid.
I don't know why.
I'm
I
gonna
would-
teach you guys how to do a good braid.
I was
would've
literally
been
thinking. I was
fun.
thinking that in my head. I was like
Braids.
braiding. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my cultural dilemma this week. And then Ryder's mix. Her dad, I'm Black. Her dad is Black and white. His mom is white, and he was raised by his mom. And I feel like a part of him for a long time associated more with being white than Black. And then I think he got the memo.
He woke up and was like, "Oh, I'm a nigga."
Hey, it's me. I think he got the memo that he's Black.
Yeah,
and
Somebody said, hey.
Does the Black community like accept it, or like did he feel welcomed into?
I'm gonna say during the heightened time of BLM, he spoke before thinking about what he was gonna say, and kind of was. I feel like, honestly speaking, I think he kind of had like a what is it?
I think he had a raw moment.
I think he had a raw moment
I don't
of
think
not
he's-
understanding like where his place was.
Okay.
And how do I speak on a topic when maybe I haven't been like affected by it personally, or maybe I just don't know what to say because I have been raised by my white mom. My dad is Black, but I associate more with my white side than my Black side. Everybody's looking at me because I look Black, I walk Black, I talk Black, like
yeah.
I'm doing, my outer appearance is screaming Black. I haven't spoken up for the Black side. So I think it was more of that. And I truly feel like when he did that, he went live and he had that conversation with live as if he was talking in a mirror.
Yeah, it was a very raw moment.
Yeah, to where I understood it because
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I understood what he was trying to say of like, I'm just trying to understand where the Black community had to fit. They were like, what don't you understand? You look Black, you're Black.
They were
Yeah.
like, there's no such thing as you're a biracial person. You look Black. You're Black.
So that was, I would
But
say,
it's-
tough for him to go through.
Yeah.
And as a family, we all rallied around him in the sense of like, it's okay. Like, you're allowed to ask questions and they could be ignorant, they could be dumb. Next time, maybe not online.
Yeah,
But
have a conversation with us at the house.
Hey,
Yeah.
We're calling daddy's Black. Like,
Yeah.
we're calling your mom. Like,
Yeah.
there was
many people who go through that
Yes,
same
yes,
conundrum of like,
yes.
where
Yeah.
do I fit
Where do you fit in?
Who
Yeah.
do I identify with?
Yeah.
Regardless of how you look or how you're perceived, it's still,
It's
I
tough.
think it's hard for people to also comprehend, like, I want to be accepted in this area where you guys are telling me, like, I'm not you I can't
I mean,
be
I've had
you,
plenty of
like,
people
it's-
online tell me, like, do you know Ryder's white? And I'm like, me too. Like, I have white in me, too.
Yes.
So, like,
Yeah.
but she looks black. She
Yeah.
looks like she's of color. So we check the black box.
Yeah.
That's the box she checks. I don't know.
That's just what it is. Yeah.
But she knows, like,
She's, after meeting her, she's very much secure in who she is. Like,
Yes.
she definitely knows, like, who I am. And I think that's great. And I think that's all we really want for our kids.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day where Ryder comes home and she's gonna be like, Mom, I have a story.
She does that every day.
told me that
What
I
do you
am
mean?
not
That
black. And
is
she's gonna
every
say,
day.
and what did you say, Ryder? She's gonna say, I told them that I am, and this is why, and this is how it makes me feel. And I'm just like,
I mean, as she
Go ahead,
gets
Ryder.
older and as her siblings get older, I definitely think it's going to be more
of a
conversations.
conversation. Yeah.
Because her brother, he's black. That boy is
Yeah.
brown as fuck. Ace,
Yeah.
there's
There's
no
no
question.
question.
There's no,
But
yeah.
her sisters,
White passing.
they're white.
Okay.
They're black, white passing.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're black.
Yeah.
Their dad is black. So
Yeah.
I think that it's gonna be interesting as the kids all get older just to see how those conversations do come up because her sisters are definitely, if you see them, you're just gonna think that they're white, but their dad is definitely black.
Yeah.
And they have
And
black in them and they're black.
Yeah.
And all it's gonna do is just cause more conversations. And that's not a negative thing.
No, it's not.
But it's just, it is what it is. And that's
Yeah.
just how genetics sometimes works. And it's one, I know it drives Taylor crazy because Maya has red hair. So many people comment on her stuff like, how does your daughter have red hair? Okay, her brothers all have red hair.
Corey's
hair is damn near red.
Yeah.
Ryder
And
has red undertones,
his mom's
too.
hair
Yeah.
is red. So, like,
Yeah, people think it's like so crazy for black people to be anything but like pitch black. Like it's so
I
crazy
think
to me.
People
Like,
also don't realize that black comes in all shades, and that's hair texture, that's eye color, that's
It's
hair color,
yeah.
that's skin tone, undertones, like.
yeah.
Yeah, my mom loves to share this, but it's like, what is it? Our great grandfather, he was one of 14, and they literally go from, there's a cousin who's like blue black to someone who is white passing, who has like blue
Colored eye, yeah.
light
It's-
skin, blue eyes,
Yeah.
like light hair. So it's, and they come from the same two parents.
the way genetics works is nuts.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean, look at your kids. They don't look the same at all.
I was about to say, what about my kids?
No, I'm saying
no.
they don't look the same.
No,
and
they have
this-
different features.
Yeah.
Cheyenne and my dad still trying to say who is Zaire's dad, and I'm like, Messier.
I'm not saying anything. I didn't say anything at all. I'm not getting in trouble after this one.
We believe
Trouble
you.
with yourself and God.
We believe you.
We believe you.
You know what,
know
Kyle?
what?
As long as you and God are right, that is all that matters in this world.
Why are you trying to make me do something?
Why do you bring God into this? Right?
Don't do that.
I'm not saying nothing. I don't want no problems with nobody.
It's okay. Y'all can go collect your receipts if you want.
I'm not collecting any receipts.
We're not getting involved, actually.
I'm not involved. I'm really good.
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying nothing. I think that your boys are beautiful. I love your boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mhm.
listen.
They just look different. No,
I am.
Well, we know they're yours.
We know for a fact they're yours. Now the rest of the facts. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm interested for when this does air. I'm interested for other people who come from similar backgrounds or mixed race homes, like what your experience was, especially with you talking about like being Black and Asian and how the Asian community
Yeah.
kind of not handled you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Not like that, but just to hear like that side of it is just
It's different.
it's different.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to hear the conversation that happens after this conversation to how people can say, oh, I can relate, or this was my experience.
Because even if you think about it, even like in the Black community, you know how you can run into like the mean Black girl who's like, oh, you think you're better because you have better hair, you're light skin, this, that, and the third. And it's like,
The colorism.
yeah, the colorism is real. And the thing that's crazy, it's like the same thing in the Philippines. You know, like my grandma had told me, like, if you were of fair complexion, you were like highly praised, you were more desirable. And then if you were brown or if you were tan, because you can be very dark and be Filipino, and like you were looked down upon because like you were a farmer, you were a field worker, you were someone who was outside, and that was not desirable. Like I have had it on like both sides. So I definitely, I get it. You know, it's crazy though.
It is crazy. And I feel like there's something like that in everyone's culture.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the color of your skin or like weight. Like I know in some cultures it's like you're praised if you're bigger versus if you're smaller, like weight wise.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think you can find that story in everyone's culture. It just depends on like what yours is. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about the topic today and to hear other people's situations growing up.
Yeah, because even like growing up, I remember it was like, oh, I'm Blasian. You know, that was the whole thing where it was like, if they were Blasian, they were like, I'm cooler than you. And I was
Blasian
like,
babies was for sure a thing.
When we were in high school, like the girls who were like, I'd be like, oh, like when we were be like, Blasians only. I would be like, oh. Okay.
It's crazy there.
Like that
and
was a whole.
It was so fetishized or whatever. It's like it's
It was.
Yeah,
I think it still is, to be honest.
It still is. I feel.
But so every week, as you know, we end our podcast with the WTF of your week or advice. Kyle, you go first.
What?
Dang. Okay. Yes, I do remember.
Why'd you put it on me like that?
Because Robin's the guest. And you have a lot to say.
Always.
I'm really trying to think about mine.
I think mine's a WTF.
I don't know. Here's my words of advice. Be open to new friendships, even if you have moments of like pure delusion together, and just make sure you come back to reality. Because I feel like sometimes we'll be in our delusion moments. we have these moments where we're super delusional.
Was that your WTF or advice? I'm so confused.
Like, I guess advice, because it's like sometimes you need those moments to just be like free and wild and crazy, but then like we always come back to like reality and like the ground.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's
okay.
find those healthy outlets where you can be yourself and be free, but you also know how to bring it back in, because we'll be like floating and then we're like, okay, but this is what we really need to do.
Okay, so, there we go.
Balance.
I had to pull that one out of you.
Yeah, you know, I don't always finish my thoughts sometimes. They just like start coming.
We know. We do. We do.
Pray for me, guys. Not her, but for me. Now I'm really trying to think about mine still.
Can we talk about Zach moving the other day?
We
were cleaning out the house.
That's your WTF. Actually, it's mine.
No, that's like Zach's WTF.
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
We were cleaning out the house. Well, Zach's the only the only husband around right now.
Zach gets picked on. That's all it is.
Yeah, Zach gets picked on.
He's so nice.
Because he's the only man. He's the only like young
guy.
So he gets picked on by all the dads. So like my stepdad calls him to do shit, my dad calls him to do shit, and they're like, "Come on, Zach, like come on, do it."
So
is
we
Zach
were
not
doing
a
stuff
handy guy
at the house.
No, he's a call and pay somebody to build the bed, nigga.
Yeah, excuse me. I just got my nails
manicure.
buffed. Like
he takes Ryder on a date every Monday to get their nails done.
I love that.
And
he's not the like let me get my hands dirty
every Monday with Ryder, and they come back, and Ryder just came back this Monday. She said, "Look at my fall nails."
Not my fall nails.
Not like that, but like
look at my buff. I got buffed.
Well, they had Mr. Buff out in the garage, covered in spider webs, holding doors, picking up stuff, and Zach was like,
Zach also doesn't like dirty shit.
He doesn't like oh yeah, Zach is so clean. Yes. So like all I kept saying was like, "Thank you, Zach." You know,
there's
a cobweb on your shirt. Oh no,
it was on his forehead.
It was on his head. He was like, "I just went through so many black spiders, black widows," and all I kept thinking is, just pray for your brother-in-law to get here sooner, so you could split the work.
We got in the car, and I swear he looked at me like, "What the fuck?
I need to shower."
Yeah. He raced home, and I had to get that man like a little small Jameson that night to help him sleep. Like it was rough.
I'm gonna send him another little mini thank you.
He don't need nothing else, but that was a funny day. That was definitely a WTF day. He looked at me like I had lost my mind.
At one point, they were okay. So they're removing. There's like three garages, and when they were trying to get one of the doors open, and they haven't been open in a very long time, and it came off the track. So my dad's standing there sweating, covered in webs, holding up the door, and Zach had gone back inside. And he said, "I know." I just know that man is not in the house sitting down on his yellow ass. He said something like that. I was like, Dad, you can't say that. Like, and he was like,
sure was.
He was like, go get him. And I walked in and Zach was like, I'm done. Like,
he's like, why don't you guys task rabbit this? Like, why did you call me?
Zach, you're being summoned. And he was like, by who? And I want to say you're, you know.
Okay, my advice is
Mr. Floyd.
Not sometimes. All the time, it is okay to do what you want and not what, like, outside environment or outside world or society is telling you, oh, you're not supposed to do that right now.
Do what you want, not what is expected.
Yeah, like, why? My reason for saying this is I took all my Halloween decorations down on November 1st. I saw the snippet. And I put my Christmas decorations up November 1st. And I had all these people coming for me, telling me it's not Christmas time yet. Guess what? It's my house, bitch, okay? If I want to look at Christmas shit, I'm about to look at Christmas shit. So I'm doing what I want, and I'm not letting you determine if it's Christmas yet or not.
Elf on a Shelf is already out at Cheyenne's house.
They're on the bathroom. I was using the bath. I went to her house, and I used the bathroom, and I was snapping, and I was like,
there's Santa Claus back there.
But I love it. Black Santa Claus. Do you do brown
Santas?
Black Santas. Yeah. There's black Santas all throughout my house. Yes. We got a little tan one, maybe white passing one in the kids' bathroom for the soap dispenser.
Brown Santas too.
We have like a few thrown in.
White passing. There's a dispenser. Yeah.
No.
He said, clean up. Okay, clean it up.
No, I'm just saying, we got all type of Santas in our house.
You know what the best part of this? When Ryder draws herself, she usually uses the brownest marker that she can find, and she's like, "That one's me," and I'm like, "Girl, you're not that dark."
I'm like, okay, right.
Yeah.
All right, Robin, what's yours?
I love it.
Advice.
Or WTF.
I mean, my WTF would expose a lot, so
so we can't do that.
Yeah. Let's see. My advice. My advice would be to stay true to yourself. Like, if currently I'm going through something with my kid's dad, and I feel like I really had to stay true to myself in the aspect of, like, I'm a good person, and regardless of, like, whatever may happen between us or how I may feel mistreated, I still try to do right by him, just because, like, that is my kid's dad. And so that's kind of something I think, like, there were times, like, recently, even, like, Kyle would tell me, like, girl, that's not your place, you don't need to be doing all of that, but I just feel like if there's, like, a challenging moment or something, you feel like, oh, like, I don't need to do this for someone, but it changes, like, it makes you question and change, like, who you are. I think you should just, like, really stick to who you are, not change based off of, like, what other people may say or try to influence you. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like I still did the right thing regardless of how I was treated along the way. If that, like, makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah? Okay.
I think it's staying true to yourself.
Yeah. Like,
but in the sense of staying true to yourself, also don't allow yourself to be mistreated.
Yeah.
I think that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
That's where I feel like I've been trying to come in.
Yeah, I don't even know what a boundary is anymore.
Some boundaries, or, like, if you do want to extend yourself and be that person, it's like you can do it for a certain amount of time. Or, you know, it's...
I feel like boundaries in co-parenting are the most important things.
Yeah.
It's just very difficult.
And it's way easier to say than to do.
Yeah.
But once you find them and once you're able to stick by them, then I think that's when you realize, oh, okay. Like,
it does get easier.
It gets easier, yeah.
Yeah.
The boundaries are tough. But I think staying true to yourself is always good. But just realizing that you're going to stay true to yourself, but you're not going to allow anyone to mistreat you in the same... It doesn't go hand in hand.
because you definitely get the guilt.
And then you'd be like, why'd I do that?
Yeah.
Or you're like, damn, I did that, and
It backfired because
And
I
then
was
it
really
backfired.
coming from a
yeah,
nice
place.
I came from a good
win.
place, and
Yeah.
I'm not being met with that same level of
That
respect.
energy.
Yeah.
So the next time, I'm
It's
gonna put
no, I'm
up a
just kidding.
boundary,
Yeah.
and you better figure it out on your own.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Think Loud Crew podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on all platforms. And you can follow me at Shy Not Shy.
And you can follow me at RKylin.
And you can follow me at XO Raviana.
Ooh, I like that one. I wasn't ready for that. And as always, don't forget to tell your crew about our crew.
Peace out, y'all.
Raviana. Ooh.